now, but let's take this call first. Good morning,
Hello.
Panorama.
Hello. Kebele, how are you?
Yeah,
How are
I'm
you,
good.
Kebele? Okay. How was your
Chief,
weekend?
welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Weekend was great. Thank you. How was yours?
Okay. I slept like a baby.
Oh, good to hear.
Education is. You're not going education is. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were in the studio on Friday. I greet on Friday and today. You
Uh-huh.
see,
You didn't greet on Friday, no?
the issue of no, I didn't know she was. She
If it's
wasn't
you
in the
now, you
studio.
go on sabbatical when they don't greet you on Friday.
Kevin, the issue of ground is this. The hunger of a thing. It hasn't started in Nigeria. You understand me? Because I know, but I'm not praying that hunger should increase. You understand me?
Mm.
With the way Amaratis is going in Nigeria today, that our leaders, they didn't even, I don't know whether they know what is going on. Gas now is 8,000 naira and many things like that. The economy is very poor. I look at the issue of a herdsmen killing the farmers and all that.
Mm.
Then how? Why would there be hunger? Even in that state you've got nations, Boko Haram, they are doing their own and all that. The government are telling us they are doing their best. But we are, like, to me, what I'm seeing, this insecurity has become something else. To the extent that it's also affecting the high and mighty. So
Mm.
that is one thing I can see there. Well,
Yeah.
what I would say is that I think it's high time we should come out in mass and decide to just really choose a God fearing person that will lead the nation.
Mm.
That is one thing I pray for.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief, as always. Now, over 1.3 million girls drop out of school annually. This is sad. Even before they reach JS3, that's Junior Secondary School 3. Even about who do we hold responsible for this? Obviously, that's not a rhetorical question anyway. I want to know like your thoughts and the way we can move forward, how we can get more girls to continue into senior secondary school and university. Education for girls.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. You see, one of the major problems we are having as of now is the early child marriages issue that we are trying to tackle. You understand? And also poverty. Because in most families, when there is paucity of person to one man and he's going to take you away, and you bear his name and all that. So in some cases, parents are more interested in educating their male children rather than spending money on the girl. So the best they will do for the girl is, okay, you go get a junior secondary education at least as well as online bar, which is
Mm.
not a very good mindset. And also, you see, at the initial stage when we were having these serious issues on abduction of school children,
Mm.
the attack was mainly at girls' schools, girls'
Girls
secondary
schools.
schools.
But
You
let's
know,
take this. Please hold that thought. Hello, good morning, Panorama.
Good morning, Kimberly.
Amber, it's good to have you join us. Welcome.
Thank God for another day.
Mm.
Good morning, Prof. I greet you.
good morning, Ambassador. Good morning.
All right.
Thank you very much. And I also greet you, my very good friend. You see,
Thank you.
this issue on ground, um, um, I think, and my thought is 90 something percent, that this narrative now,
Mm.
that people no longer want their daughters to go to school, is not common in the South. It is not common in the South. Parents give both sexes preferential treatment when it comes to school. Do you know why? I
Mm.
discovered that men, particularly, it is their daughters that take care of them more than their sons when they are old. And we have also seen that education does not know gender, whether you are male or female. The people have come to realize that, whether you are male or female,
Mm.
they need to go to school. There is, for me, if I have maybe 3 or 4 children who want to go to university, whether the senior one is female, that senior one will enter first. If the second son is male, he will wait until I'm able to afford his own education. There is no preferential treatment. I treat my children equally. And I believe that the females, they have more time
All right.
for their parents
Okay.
than the
So
male
what's the
children.
solution for the
So
dropouts now? The girl dropout, dropping
it's
out of
government
school.
now. Government. See, during the time we went to school, I finished my secondary school in 1983. Not only was education free, feeding was free. They were feeding us free of charge.
Okay.
I schooled in the old Kwara State. Now, what excuse does government have not to make sure that our children get educated, whether male or female? Because even the males, if you don't educate them, they end up destroying the females. So what excuse do they have? And we keep on saying this country is poor. And I say this country is not poor yesterday, it's not poor today, it's not poor tomorrow. It is corruption and mismanagement. So government should take the responsibility to start, if it is to create federal government girls college, where there will be free education for the poor, then they should do it. What is it? We are just squandering money, building skyscrapers everywhere in Abuja, in Ikoyi, in Lagos, in DRA, all over, and then we are neglecting education. This is very sad.
All right, Ambers. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ibinabo, please go on. Thank you for staying tuned.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
As I was saying, in the I'm looking at up north at this point. Apart from poverty and all that, early child marriages and everything. Remember, kidnapping was almost like focused on girls' school, like the Dakchi girls, like the Chibok girls, and other schools. Until recently, that they started, abducting boys from boys' schools. So what am I trying to say here? Everyone is to blame, but the bulk of the blame goes to the government. Just like Amber said, if you want something, you will give everything within your capacity to make it work. There is need for the government to encourage education all over the country, more so in places where education, educating the boys and the girls are not on par, like the northern part of the country. So we need the government, the families, communities, organizations, all hands should be on deck. Because there's this, stereotype that dissuades girls from going to school. What am I wasting money on you for? After all, one man is coming to marry you. What am I doing this for? I mean, all this mindset, it was obtainable down here before, but now events and, civilization and, support staff.
Okay.
So we need to continually have it in the ears of parents up north that you need to educate your daughters. They are not given birth to be given out to men to marry at early ages. Some given out as early as 9-year-olds. I've mentioned this on this platform before.
Yeah.
That I met a man and a girl. They were so playful. I thought that was his father. And I told my friend that such a relationship, look at this girl and her dad. And she said, no, it's his wife. I was shocked.
No.
We need to have a change of mind. We need to have a lot of orientation.
Right.
And of course, the government must come through for the people.
Okay.
Make education worth it. Make education free. At least up to secondary education should be free, totally free, as in being free. And parents should be encouraged because you can't, with the mindset that somebody's going to kidnap my daughter, I don't want to put her in any school. I'd rather give her out in marriage to somebody, at least to be alive there and to have her children there. That mindset should be changed. The government must make sure that in the area of security, they come up, they show up.
All right.
Make security a priority.
Yeah.
Make education for all a priority. I remember there used to be this slogan before we got into the Y2K. They would tell you, the slogan was education for all by the year 2000. And here we're actually talking about it in the year 2021. So the government must rise up to their responsibility more so in the area of security and education of the girl child.
All right.
Because you cannot leave back a particular sex behind and think that everything will move smoothly.
All right. Let's get your final words for the morning, Ibembo, on Panorama.
Okay, because part of this topic was to look at the digital
Yeah.
technology
Yeah.
and culture. So I would like to say that, everybody, the family, the community, the government, we all must challenge the stereotype, that dissuade girls from studying ICT-related subjects and pursuing career in these sectors. Because a lot of times, you see that if you go to some states, majority of the science students are boys. Because it is assumed that science subjects are masculine subjects. So they are basically for boys.
All right.
That
All
is
right.
a stereotype that must throw away. We shouldn't even allow it to exist again. Every subject is for every child, whether you are a boy or you are a girl. We should encourage, then we should have role models.
All
If
right.
we have good people who are making waves in ICT, in science related, courses, they should come out as role models to encourage our girls.
Encourages girls.
Let
All
them
right. Oh, just the network did that. All right, be a part of the conversation on Panorama 070917917. That's 070917917. Thanks to our first guest on Panorama, Ibinabo Dixon, and we'll have our next guest on the program shortly. You too can be a part of the conversation. Over 1.3 million girls drop out of school. That's coming from the UNICEF. Hello, good morning, Panorama.
As Ambrose calling back.
All right.
Well, just like Ibinabo said, I I go with her. This idea of I used to have one of my members that was several years ago. The husband died, and then the child he had a daughter.
Mm.
He was telling me once the girl finished school, she should go and marry. I said, no, don't try that. He said, when will she get money? Because she's part of the North. When will she get money? Blah, blah. I said, no. Make sure this your only daughter goes to school. And I'm proud to tell you that today she is a graduate because
Nice.
eventually he allowed her to go to school.
Very nice.
That was why last week when you were saying in this generation, I was just laughing because you didn't know my thoughts and you didn't know where I was going to. You know,
Okay.
the
Mm.
girl must be educated.
Yeah.
It is her total. Look, in fact, I don't want to say I have more bias for girls, but they must get proper education. They are
Okay.
more sympathetic. You, Kimberly, now,
Mm.
if you have brothers now, if you send 50 naira to your family, your brother, before he will send 10 naira, it will
Mm.
take him decades. What are we talking about?
All
So
right.
we know all of these things, and
Yeah.
then we must discourage early marriages. In fact, they should bring a legislation that will, even that 18 years old,
Yeah,
for me,
Ambrose.
it's even
Yeah.
too small.
All right,
They should make
Ambrose.
it 20.
20.
They
All
should
right.
make it 20.
Thank you,
Thank
Ambrose.
you.
Thank you. Florence Oladotun Amo, good to have you with us on Panorama once again.
Good morning, Kim. Good morning, WFM, and our valued listeners.
Yeah,
What
let's take this. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're happy to hear from you. Hello, Panorama.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Albert is my name, calling from Ikorodu.
Albert. How's the corridor this morning?
I thank God for saying that our road is dealing with
Okay.
challenges.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to, I have to go with slippers. Where you go
Oh,
to
the
school,
road
then
is
you
bad.
I'm
Wow.
telling you.
Well, that's what we
Telling
have
you.
to deal with. We hope it will be
Yeah.
fixed soon. All right. So let's hear what you have to say.
About early gay marriage, isn't it?
Yeah, we're looking at, UN is saying they will need to rotate food supply in the north and northeast where you have this Boko Haram thing because of funding. And so many girls are dropping out
Yeah.
of school.
You're not far from the truth. You know, the issue with the North is not that dealing with themselves over there. They are in power. They have all it takes. They are the government. Why not the government send the military to that place, fish out all the bad girls, eggs among them there, deal with them. But now, if you capture the Boko Haram, you will leave them tomorrow. See, they are repented. Who does that in a civilized country? Okay, now look at the children there. Now they're no more going to school. Now they are shut the whole schools there because of bandits. And in a country where there's no education, there's no improvement in that country. And all these our girls now, smart and they will start giving birth. Who is pregnant now what's the future hope of those children that are giving birth
All
to
right.
now? So that's the thing that we're talking about here this morning.
All
So
right.
now the
Oh,
government does do the
yeah.
needful and
Do what
okay.
they have
Thank
to
you very
do
much.
to get our system working. Thank you, Albert. Now, Florence, we'll take a break from the calls for now. Let's talk about. I was going to continue from where Binabo and I left off. Over 1.3 girls drop out of school before they even reach JSS 3. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, over 1.3 adolescent girls drop out of school every year. Now, Florence, let me hear what you have to say about this. What you think can be done to help this situation. Amber's, one of our callers, was saying that perhaps a free federal school where everything is totally free, not the one they will say free and then you still have to pay for books, you buy this, you buy certain things, and it amounts to the fees you pay in a private school. But let's just hear what you have to say about this report.
Thank you, Kimberly. 1.3 million girls dropping out of school annually. This is not limited to the North. I think it's a national statistic. And I want to say that the girl child is disadvantaged across culture, across religion. What do I mean? From that, the kind of excitement that families exhibit when a male child is born is not the same as when a female child is born. People are more excited about having male children than female children. And in some homes, this is so poorly managed that even as the children grow up, it is obvious to the girl child that the brothers are preferred. So this goes on and on till they get to school. And in cases where funds are scarce and all the children cannot be taken to school, you find out that some families, some parents will say, "Oh, the girl has to drop out for the boys," And even when the girls go to school, just like Ibn Abbas said, most times you find more girls tilting towards the art, towards the commercial subject more than the science, because there is this wrong notion that maybe the boy's brain is better and they are smarter, which is not true. So you find out that at the end of the day, most of these girls begin to feel worthless, and they find out what is the need for me after all. Let me drop out of school. And you find out that among the children who are hired as domestic help, the girls form the bulk. Most girls are hired as domestic help. Even down south here, where we don't have early marriage issue, we have children, we have these young girls being drafted into baby factories where they can make more money, in the immediate term. So what are we saying? This is a very bad development, and I've said it on this program
Platform,
before,
yeah.
that education is the right of every child, whether it's a girl child, whether it's a boy child. That child has the right to education.
To education.
The government has a role to play, we cannot overemphasize that. Parents have a role to play, not to discriminate, not to prefer the boy child to the girl child, to give them equal opportunities.
All right.
But more importantly, the girls themselves need to be orientated.
All
the
right.
girls need to be taught. They need to be, their confidence has to be boosted.
Has to be boosted. All right.
What the boys can do. And I'm happy that the STEM initiative is addressing this.
Yeah.
More people are now being drafted into
science and technology.
And mathematics.
All right, let's take this one. Hello, good morning, Panorama. Turn down the volume of your radio,
good
please.
morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Leo, calling from Lagos to the Expressway.
Oh, good to have you. How's the morning going for you?
We thank God.
All right, so let's hear from you.
Okay, many things in Nigeria. So many things are complicated in Nigeria. You talk about education. You talk about the poverty that is ravaging the country. Talk about the insecurity now. You see, the problem we are having as a people is that we keep on dragging people out of the water without to finding the source of why people are falling inside this water. Without going to the head of know why people are falling inside the water every day. So there's many problems. They need to go to root of all these problems to solve it. Even with the educational matter. Now, what billions, trillions or something they are doing in budget in Nigeria every year. Why can't they fund education? Because education will give you the perfect life to make it in life. When you educate, it can make your life. No matter what happens. Educate people, forget what people will do.
So what's the solution now for you? They should fix the schools.
There must be a massive education for everybody.
Okay.
Because money is there in Nigeria. Nigeria cannot tell that they are in poverty. Or Nigeria is not poor. I'm telling Nigeria is not poor. No matter what is happening. I know that all our leaders, in short, they are looting our resources.
Have you seen any leader looting resources before?
But sometimes truth is bitter, but you will have to say this. No matter that I did not see the crocodile, but I'm telling you, truth is bitter. But nevertheless, how to say this? Right. They know the reality. Now the reality is on ground. What about their children in abroad schooling after the school and they came back and take the top position, and the children of the sport that cannot go university? Look at how they are funding it. Sometimes they go strike for almost 3-4 months. So let them do something.
All right. Thank you.
People want to school now. Yeah.
All right. Please be safe on the express way. Now, Leo has shared his thoughts on Panorama this morning. Panorama is where we have the ladies come together from different geopolitical zones to discuss, dissect, disagree, sometimes agree on topical issues. I am Kimberly Ubiabora, and of course, we have Florence Oladotung and more on the line with us via phone. She's our guest, a second guest on Panorama this morning. We had Ibinabo Dixon earlier on. And Florence, now, federal government tax affluent women on plight of less privileged rural women. Was it on Friday where we talked about in the wake of the International Day for Rural Women? I think we talked about rural women and how they should be included and carried along by CSOs, by the government, and other projects that should engage them. And now the federal government yesterday challenged affluent women in the society to invest in the lives of underprivileged rural women languishing in abject poverty across communities in the country in order to affect their lives positively. The Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talin, made the plea as women from all walks of life converged on Abuja, the national capital, the nation's capital, to pour, to celebrate with, talk on the former Nigerian First Lady, Dr. Mrs. Mariam Babangida, who founded the Better Life for Rural Women. Now, the goal, they say, is to create awareness of the crucial roles of women can play in society in ensuring food and nutrition security, eradication of poverty, and most especially improving the well-being of her family. All right, so now, going by the headline of this report, taxing affluent women on the plight of less privileged rural women. What do you think about this? What role do you think that affluent women can play when it comes to engaging and including rural women?
Thank you, Kimberly. Flowing from what we discussed on Friday, the plight of the rural women, it's just a matter of opportunity. It's just a matter of privilege. We're all women, whether affluent, whether poor. What should the affluent people be doing? Women by nature, we are natural, we're sustainers, we're managers. That's the way God wired us. And so if enough resources are pumped into these women, you'll be amazed at what they will do. But as it is now, an average rural woman struggles with food on the table, struggles with nutrition. Even where they have food to eat, are the children having balanced meals? Are they having nourishing meals? The rural woman has to battle with poverty, with improving the well-being of the family and the rest of them. That is on one hand. On the other hand, they also have to contend with cultural constraints, structural constraints. What the men can do, they dare not. They have to battle with threats, gender-based violence, sexual harassment, traditional harmful practices, widowhood issues, inheritance, and the rest of them. So you see that the rural woman is being pressed on every side, like the Holy Book says. But what should the affluent women be doing? Good enough, we seem to be having better representation in politics, even though it is not good. We're not there yet. But the women there should be the ones that will pull up the rural women. They should remember that they are not there for themselves. They are there to lift up the rest of the women. If few women are at the end of affairs and lots of women are still suffering, then I think they have not done well for the woman folk. And
Mm.
the NGOs, many of them have good intentions, but then we should also put a question mark on the motive of some of them. Some of them merely use these rural women. They use them as a platform to attract grants, to attract funds. But let them ask themselves and let them ask their consciences. Are they using the funds for the cause that they got it for? Are they diverting the funds, or the funds are actually going to the people who need the money? So I think women have to be friends to women now.
Okay.
But it has always been women being enemies of women.
Mm.
You find out that a big woman somewhere gets X naira, and instead of the money to flow down to her constituency and help the other less privileged women, she sees that fund as her fund. It doesn't belong to her. It belongs to her people. So
All
whether
right.
NGOs, whether women in politics, whether women in government, every woman has a duty to assist another woman.
Mm.
If
To
you have
give
that
back.
mindset, if you have that mindset, over time things will get better. I don't think we should wait for the men any longer. Don't let us blame men. Don't let us blame, let's help ourselves. Let's see it as a cause that the women have to fight to bring up the other women.
Mm. Speaking of widows now, we couldn't take this one on Friday. The widow that dragged brothers of the late husband to court over inheritance. Remember, we're going to go over this one. Widow of Kasimo Haji Umaru, who's a
Yeah,
late lecturer at the College of Education in Taraba State,
yes,
dragged her husband's two brothers to court for denying her access to her late husband property. In the suit filed at the Magistrate Court, Jalingo, Gasso alleged that since Issa's demise 7 years ago, his two brothers have been subjecting her and her five children to inhumane treatment. We'll connect to Florence. You can call in for your contributions 07000 That's 07000 So, wondering why the brothers of her late husband have decided to indulge in such acts without taking the future of her children into consideration. She urged the court to declare the purported takeover of the property by the two brothers as null and void. Gasso also urged the court to order the defendants as a matter of urgency to remit to her all money collected so far as rent from the building of her deceased husband. Noting that taking adequate care, I beg your pardon, of her children since the demise of her husband has become difficult. This is the plight of castle and widows in Nigeria. A lot of widows have to deal with this, both women in rural areas and in urban areas. Let's hear what you have to say. As regards the plight of widow, we have about 4 minutes.
okay. Yeah, we were supposed to take that story last week.
Yeah.
I'm happy that finally the woman had the boldness and the guts to take her brothers-in-law to court. Although I wish she did it earlier, because from the report, she's been widowed for 7 years, and for 7 years, those brothers have denied her and her children access to what their father left behind. I think this is the height of wickedness on the part of those men who have not been concerned about how their late brother's children have been faring. Five children for 7 years. How have they been feeding? What have they been wearing? How have they been going to school? How have they been accessing healthcare and education? I think they've been very, very unfair to their late brother. But having said that, it's good enough that the woman has gone to court, and I'm praying that God will help her and the justice, the right thing will be done, and all that her brothers-in-law have taken from her will be restored. This
Okay.
widowhood thing is very dehumanizing.
Yeah, it is.
I've watched a few home videos and I've seen what widows go through. Having for every man who dies, the first suspect is the woman. And I'm wondering, when a woman dies, do people suspect the husband?
But you know, sometimes Florence, people don't even write wills. I know there are a lot of people that go about campaigning that once you are 30 and above, you should have a will. As long as, we've had some cases or seen some cases where the man would die without a will. And this would just cause some kind of confusion. And the brothers, family, the siblings, and everyone will start dragging. Although even in cases where there is a will, we understand that, some in-laws might want to use might to say
Mm.
okay, or culture. tradition to say we need to take over. So there's so many reasons that widows will have to suffer. But now, just wrap your thoughts in about 2 minutes, Florence.
I think, like I said the other time, women should not be the enemies of women. From the home videos I've watched, few home videos I've watched, I've seen that women are usually at the forefront of inflicting trauma on young widows. They are the ones that will shape the young widow. They are the ones that will compel her to drink water that they used to bathe the dead man and all that. It's a case of, I went through it, and so every other woman must go through it. No, I would think that the older women who have gone through this experience should be in the forefront of, saying that this thing has to stop. They don't have to inflict the trauma they went through on the young widows. Until we do that, it's going to be a cycle. So a woman is tortured today because she's widowed. Then when she has the opportunity to torture another widow, she does the same thing. That is not the spirit. Women should be the ones to defend the cause of the women. And I think just in my church yesterday, we actually had a seminar on this issue of writing wills. A lawyer was asked to come and teach people and all that. I think it's important that men put their houses in order before death comes.
You won't know when death is coming. All right, Florence. I said nobody knows when death is coming. But
Exactly.
yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Do enjoy the rest of your day. We appreciate you. Yes.
Enjoy your day.
Have a beautiful day and of course a productive week. Panorama will be back on air same time tomorrow, 9:15 to 9:55 a.m. right here on Women Radio. I am Kimberly Ubiebo, your host on the Full Breakfast Show at 10 o'clock is Radio Doctor. Do stay tuned and thank you so much for calling. Make sure you make it a date with us tomorrow, same time.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.